y'all, so I'm going to do my commemorative speech in honor of my father. His name was Derek Van Hill. He was born on October 12th, 1965, and unfortunately on July 3rd, 1999, he went to take my sister home to her mother's after spending the weekend with us, and he never came back. Gonna find out later, he had dropped her off, continued driving up to Fayetteville, Tennessee, marched himself into the woods, and he took his own life there. At the time, I was only 2 years old, so I have no memory whatsoever of this happening. My mother, though, says obviously it's probably the worst thing she's ever had to go through in her life, which is extremely understandable. She was widowed with 2 children, one 2 years old, one 8 years old. And what she didn't know at the time was that stepdaughter that she had had for the past 3 or 4 years, she was never going to see again. So it was a bad way to kind of start my life. 2 years old and you lose your father. I feel like it kind of set the platform for a lot of things in my life. And right now, things are great and I'm thankful to be where I am. It was a long, difficult, really difficult life. I remember always feeling this huge void, like I had this big empty spot in me. And it confused me because I didn't even really know my father. I was 2. I don't have really any memories of him other than the fact that I know he was there and I know, he was my father. But I didn't know him. I didn't have a relationship with him, or at least a relationship that I recall and can remember. But I had this huge void, and I felt like half of me was, missing. And that was difficult because it was because of someone I never really knew, which is a very conflicting feeling. It was very confusing. I remember always being upset and jealous of my friends who had both their parents, and I wished beyond anything that I had my dad, but I had to accept very early on that was never going to happen, no matter what men my mom brought into the household. As I got older, it got easier. I was able to process the things more. When I first found out what had really happened to my father, I was 8 years old, which is still really young for a child to find that out, but still kind of old enough for them to process it. But I got older and I processed it more. And thankfully, when I got older, when I turned 14, I got to get in contact with my sister, that was who he was dropping off the day that he passed away. I got into contact with her after 12 years, and that kind of just opened these floodgates to me getting to understand that side of me more, and that has really significantly helped fill that void that I feel like I have. I got to meet my sister from his side. I have 2 aunts that were his sisters. I have lots of cousins. I have a grandmother on that side, but she doesn't really have anything to do with anybody, so I probably won't ever get to meet her, but oh well. Through them, thankfully, and their stories and what they've told me, that a hole has kind of gotten to be filled. While it will never be fully filled, while I'll never get to bring my father back and get to know him and talk to him and see what he's like, my family helps a lot. I know that they will answer any question I have about him in a heartbeat. They will tell me anything I want to know. I've already known that I look exactly like him. I am his twin. I am a clone, exact clone of him. If you took off my makeup and cut all my hair off, I would be my father. Dead ringer. My mom likes to joke that she was just an incubator and that nothing of her got into me, which is true. I look nothing like my mother. His favorite bands were Van Halen and Elvis Presley, who's not actually a band, he's just a person. But he tried to name me after his wife, after Elvis's wife. I was supposed to be Priscilla. Glad my mother vetoed that. He was a big hunter. He had deer all over the house, which my mother didn't quite like, but oh well. He was a big goofball. He had a really good sense of humor. Silly, crazy, did anything to get us to laugh. Treated me like I was a little princess. He painted my fingernails and toenails and did my hair. And the most comforting thing is I know through what I have been told and just kind of my own understanding that he really loved me. It's kind of hard to think about being loved by someone that you don't know. It's hard to put into words, that kind of feeling, but it's comforting to me that I know he loves me, and even though I don't know him, I love him. I miss him. I wish that he could be here. I wish that I could, I want to have one conversation with him. Just one. Just to kind of get my own understanding of him. I wonder all the time if he's proud of me, if he is happy that I'm his daughter. Sorry. So yeah, I miss him. If I could bring him back for a day, I think the first thing I would do is I would hit him for leaving our family. But when he came around, when we got back up, I'd hug him, and I don't think I'd let go. And if I ever did let go, then I would try and have that conversation with him. But I think for the most part, I would just hug him, tell him I love him and miss him, and that he was stupid for doing what he did. But life happens, things happen, and can't take it back, can't redo it. So he's gotta keep trucking on, and I can feel some peace with the situation from my family, which I'm extremely thankful for. I'm beyond thankful that I got to meet the family on his side. I feel like slowly but surely the mystery of my dad's side that was there for 12 years of my life, slowly coming together. Hopefully one day I will know a lot more than I do right now. Apparently he has written me a letter, but I'm not allowed to read it till I'm 21. I'm hoping that letter will finally give me the closure that I'm really, really seeking, and that once I read that, I'll be able to have full peace, and a full kind of more understanding of everything that has happened. So this has been an honor of my father. Love you, and I miss you, and I can't wait to see you again.